Welcome, Pokemon players, to another episode of Discount Pokemon Decks. Today's episode is going to be a follow-up to our Carbink Medicham video. So in that video, I talked about, this is the deck I used in that video, and if you haven't checked it out, you should. I think that one came out pretty well. But in that video, I talked about this deck and how it's a pretty cheap deck to make. The only rare cards, of course, Carbink Break and Medicham. Medicham should be, even though it's a rare card, should be acquired pretty cheaply. Right now, as I'm recording this, Carbink breaks about 2 packs to acquire on the public trading. But in any case, everything else here, I said you would use in other decks, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. This is a stepping stone deck. So if you're a budget player, if you're a new player and you're looking for a fighting deck, or you have some fighting cards and you want to build this deck, you would make this deck, and then later on, as you get more cards, as you acquire more packs through winning tournaments or opening packs by just playing versus, you're going to get more cards. And what you want to do is you want to take this deck and you want to upgrade it. Even though the deck performed really well, you know, you can try it out with different cards. You can upgrade it. So let me show you a little bit about what I mean. I'm going to go back here. Let's find our Carbink deck. Alright, and what we're going to do is we're going to clone it. And let's say we did acquire some new cards, okay? Let's say I got Zygarde EX, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the same deck, same exact deck, clone it, and I'm going to start editing it. So I'm going to, you know, we know what works in this deck. And what we want to do is basically upgrade the card. So Sudowoodo, pretty good card, but I think Zygarde EX is a little bit better. So we're going to replace him with Zygarde. Obviously, we have to be mindful of our card count. There's 61 cards in this deck, so that's too many. So we can be less reliant on Medicham, but we don't want to get rid of him entirely because if we face, let's say, another Carbink deck, then what are we going to do? Zygarde's not going to be able to attack. So if we face a deck with Jolteon, Zygarde's not going to be able to attack. So having a second, or you know, in this case, a third attacker, Carbink's less of an attacker. He can attack and do damage. You know, you saw that the Power Gem was helping us out, and you know, obviously with the Strong Energy, we can power that up. That could be, you know, easily 80 per turn, which isn't that bad, especially if it's against an EX that can't attack us. But you know, you want to make sure you don't want to give yourself an auto loss if you don't have to. And obviously, if you're playing against another Carbink deck and you don't have something to counter that, you know, obviously playing Hex Maniac isn't ideal, and playing Garbodor isn't ideal either because we are using abilities. So what you want to do is kind of, you know, stay with your deck. I talked about this previously. You don't want to have cards that are in opposition of each other, that cancel each other out, that hurt each other. So if I put a Hex Maniac in this deck, you know, because I'm scared I'm going to face another Carbink deck, that exposes my Carbink too. And that could put a card in my hand at a critical moment that I don't need, right? I'm only going to need that for that one time. And it doesn't help against Jolteon either. So by leaving these two guys in, it's a little bit of insurance, all right? So we changed the creatures around. It means we're going to have to change the trainers as well. At least look at them. The Evosoda becomes a little bit less important. Right? Because, all right, so we're going to involve this guy and this guy, but Zygarde doesn't need it. And in fact, we don't have a way to get Zygarde out because Level Ball doesn't do it either. So let's reduce our Evosoda. Let's get a couple of Ultra Balls in here. And the cool thing is we have a little bit of synergy because the Ultra Balls will help us get out the Carbink breaks as well. So, you know, that's a good thing too. I think we can leave 3 Level Balls in. I think that's fine. I think this will suffice. You can always, I mean, the best way to do this is to test it out. So make some changes, play a game, and you find you can't get Zygarde out and you have a bunch of Level Balls in your hand. Well, reduce this count, maybe reduce this count, add more Ultra Balls. You can even, let's see, I just want to check. You can use a Heavy Ball too if you need something like that. There's lots of ways to go around this. All right, so we're back at 60 cards, but make sure everything's okay. Pokemon Ranger will be helpful. It's good to have one in the deck. In case you face a Glaceon or Jolteon and you need to attack. I think our bursting balloons, do we really need 4 of them? We could keep it. It's not a bad idea. I think I'd rather have a float stone because we can always pull back Zygarde. You know, if we have it up, put it on Zygarde or whatever, we could pull it back on our bench and power them up with Carbink. So it may not be the worst thing in the world. I think switching it, 3-3 evens things up. There's other changes we can consider as well. Obviously, we can go with more Scorched Earth, and that's true of any deck. You can look through. We can do more Pokédexes. We can add Trainer's Mail. I think for this deck, and I talked about it in the last video, Pokédex does give us a nice synergy. Looking at the top 5 cards and then using Scorched Earth to draw 2 of them, I think that's a pretty nice combo. One thing I did want to talk about is Zygarde's Power Memory. Okay, so this is an interesting attack. You attach this to Zygarde as a Pokemon tool, and he can do 200 damage, and you discard 3 energy attached to Zygarde. Now, the problem with putting that in this deck is that once that happens, Zygarde's exposed, right? He'll knock out whoever's there, but he's out there with no energy. And unless we have a Float Stone on him, which we can have if we have the Zygarde tool, he's helpless. And so we can't use Carbink to power him up. So it doesn't really help as a synergy thing. If you did want to make that, and I have made a deck with that, using Power Memory, you can, but you'd want to edit what's here. You want to change. Obviously, we're changing what the focus of our deck is, because now the focal point is more this Power Memory attack and powering up Zygarde with Carbink, but we have to get him to the bench to do it. So it's a little clumsy to do it this way. So we'd want some switches or some escape ropes or something like that. Olympia. So you'd want to change, maybe not the synergy of the deck changes so much, but the theme of the deck, some of the supporting cards. So I think this is good like this. You could take this deck, you can save it. Instead of Carbink Medicham, it's Zygarde EX. Okay, and if Zygarde's not your thing, you can do the same thing with Groudon. So I made the same deck here. Instead, I used Groudon and Primal Groudon. So for this one, I kept Sudowoodo because, I felt like he's an evolved Pokemon. Again, I might struggle against something like Glaceon. So, you know what? Keep Sudowoodo there instead of Medicham. And now, keeping Evosoto is okay because it works with Groudon too, right? We have I added some heavy balls here, so you can kind of see how you'd change the deck. The bursting balloons are gone for the Spirit Links. Only have 2 float stones, which is fine. Again, you could change the deck any way you want. I added more Pokédex trainers in this one. Try to get through my cards quicker, get cards that I need in my hand. And that'll help, again, with the Scorched Earth kind of synergy there. So, this is a stepping stone deck. There's a lot of ways to get through it. And I think, the giveaway, the secret phrase for this one is going to be Primal Groudon. So that is, so if you stuck around this long and you were the first one on YouTube, if you say leave a comment with Primal Groudon, you will win, and I will send you. What will I send you? I'll send you. How about 4 Scorched Earths and 4 Strong Energy? So this is a shorter video, so I think that's good. So put Primal Groudon as the secret phrase, and I'll check you out and reply back, and we can do a trade. But I think it's pretty clear what you can do with this deck, and I think that the Medicham, the Carbink Medicham deck is a good deck to build for a beginner because it gives you the cards you need to build other decks. So if you want to get into fighting, if you're just starting, this is a good one. It's going to win you. It's going to win you some games. You could maybe even go a round or 2 in a tournament. And win some cards that way with it. And then, use that to build up your collection. So it's good to kind of have a focus on which way you want to go. And it's good to build up some strong decks and then build on top of that. Instead of, okay, now I built a fighting deck. Well, let me go build a fire deck. Well, let me go build a water deck. Stay in one theme, and then you can use a lot of the same cards over and over again. And then once you do get that, once you do have a more powerful deck and you can win more tournaments, then you can start branching out and trying to get lots of different decks. So it's a good way to go. And you know, from one deck you can have 3 or 4 decks just based on what else you add to it. You know, you could do a Machamp, you could do a Garchomp. There's lots of things you can do with this. So, well, thanks a lot for listening, and until the next episode, see you later.